What's up guys, it is that panda guy and I'm here again with another video, and today we're actually going to be doing a pretty weird video today that is out of my normal genre, but I wouldn't say like extremely passionate about books, but I do have a passion for books, and I thought this would be a kind of cool idea for anybody who does enjoy books. You guys can enjoy the view of Otis in the background freaking slurping on it. I do have my hoodie on right now because one, I'm a little cold, and my hair is kind of froey right now. I haven't gotten a cut in a little while, okay? So I don't want you guys seeing that. That being said, we're going to be talking about three of my favorite series. I will actually add a fourth one. I'm going to say it right now because I probably won't remember later. Ranger's Apprentice. It is an extremely long series, and I actually have not finished it myself, but it is actually a pretty nice series. Really in depth, and it has a really great story. I'm not much for extremely slow books or like slow stories, but I feel like the pacing on that is pretty good. But we're gonna start off with my favorite series, and I actually have it right here. And you guys might be familiar if you watched my vlog, but I actually mentioned how I got my books stolen at the airport, and this is actually one of them because right now, so I do have a third book right here, but this is like a sequel kind of book. I am actually missing one of my books. I think it goes over here, but I'm missing one of my books, which is going to be the legend book. Okay, I'm missing my legend book. Because it was stolen, and I still haven't ordered it, which I think I actually did order it the other day, so hopefully it does come in soon. It is my favorite series, and one of the reasons for that is I think the overall and I actually like the author. I actually like the author of this book, and I'm going to try to talk without spoiling too much in the books, but still giving a pretty good, detailed description. That kind of covers enough, right? And you could probably find if you look up the description online. Um, but in Legend, right? One reason that I love it as much as I do is I think that the story one for one is really good, like the overall story, right? It kind of is in a, and actually let me look it up so I can actually give you guys the specific definition they have up here. um, Oh, by the way, it's Mary Lou, because if you just look up Legend Chronicles or Legend, you're not going to find it. So look up a Legend by Mary Lou or Legend series by Mary Lou. Um, Sorry. Description. This probably isn't. This is just not going to be a cut video at all. I'm just going to be doing whatever the heck I want. So basically, it's a dystopian young adult novel written by Mary Lou. It is the first book in the Legendary series, followed by Prodigy, Champion, and Rebel. Rebel's actually a follow-up book that comes like 10 years down the line, I believe. And dude, it fixed so much like pent up anger I had, because how it finished off had me so frustrated. Because and I'm gonna tell you guys now, I'm not the biggest sucker for like romance in books, and one reason that is because I think it's done wrong a lot of the time. Like I have a lot of them feel forced, or they feel too cringy when I read a lot of the romances. Like Mary Lou actually has another book that I like the book, but the romance is cringy, right? Like she hit it right on this one, but she doesn't hit it right on every single one of the books. I'm just gonna say that now, right? But this book specifically, I feel like the romance was done so perfectly. Not only was it not a main like kind of, it was sort of a main plot point, but at the same time, it wasn't like overbearing on the actual like it wasn't over like shadowing the actual storyline, right? It was kind of like a subplot, which provided so much, right? Because you always wanted more. You always wanted more of that more of that love scene and stuff. But yeah, basically the book explores topics of love, family, uh, fascism, civil disobedience, inequality, propaganda, poverty, and hope in the face of oppressive government. So, if you guys don't know, basically how this works is, okay, wait, let me kind of click on this real quick. Da, da, da. Okay, well, it says so June, a military prodigy. And basically, by the way, in this book, how it's going to work is you're going to be going between multiple perspectives between like people. So, for example, June is the girl that's going to, one, be one of the protagonists in a sort of way. So, I wouldn't say there's like one protagonist. I would say the main character is the guy, but she's kind of a protagonist in her own right. But it's going to basically be swapping between her point of view, the main character. In some cases, it'll also be his brother, which is I think it's Eden. Um, sorry, I don't remember the names off my head. Yeah, Eden, for instance, you can actually see they show the name there, and like to be like, hey, this is who we're reading as, and their point of view, which I think that's actually a really nice touch. That's one of my favorite things about it, how it's swapping from perspective, and it just creates such an amazing dynamic in the story itself. Um, But basically, what? So I don't think it says right here. It just basically talks about Day being a wanted criminal and stuff. But this is like the setting is basically in a dystopian type future where the states are at war. So imagine if our states, right, in the United States, were split into two factions at constant war with each other. Obviously, like it says here, there's a ton of propaganda, ton of poverty. Inequality, civil disobedience, whatever the case. So overall, I actually really liked this book. I don't want to spoil it too much, but it is actually my favorite series right now that I've read. I mean, obviously I'm not the biggest book guru, so I can't be saying like it's the best book in the world, but it's quite an amazing book, quite an amazing read. So if you do read or you want to read, I'd give that a try. And also, I'm going to say real quick, you might not be into reading, but I do think reading is a really nice thing. I think that um, it's kind of hard to explain, right? Because a lot of people might not get my perspective, but I do think that reading is really nice. And one big reason is, for example, when I've read books like Maze Runner. I don't know if you guys have ever watched that series, but when you read a book, imagination is everything, right? Like you literally can imagine everything in the best possible kind of scenery that you would kind of imagine it yourself. Like I remember I had a totally different kind of thought process on one of my what's it called, on Maze Runners, on one of the books, right? I totally thought the whole like scenery of it and stuff would be completely different, and when I actually saw it, I was like, bruh, right? Like, bruh, that's tough. Like I was not happy with that. But yeah, it's just like, and not only that, it's just such a like calming thing, right? Like I don't know, I'm probably saying it so bad. I'm so bad at explaining stuff like that. Like I'm literally one of the worst people you could probably ask to explain anything actually, right? I mean, I guess I'm okay at explaining doomsday stuff, but um, I do want to show you guys my next series that I'm gonna show you guys today, and I'm not pulling these books out because they're freaking hard to get in here. But it is Warriors, which you could look up Cat Warriors. This is by Aaron Hunter. Um, but yeah, Cat Warriors. This is by Aaron Hunter. It's a really good book series, honestly. Basically, the premise is it's going to be, and I think they changed the point of view in like, so for example, I think two books follow one cat, which is going to be Fireheart, and I think they change it to another cat's perspective and stuff, and it's basically going to be these cat warriors within a forest, right, spread into four factions, and they basically have a lot of just conflicts, be it daily or other bigger conflicts that kind of just arise, whereas like they're constantly marking their territory, meaning they're doing border patrols, right, making sure no other cat warriors from other clans are kind of invading in their territory, stealing their food, because obviously they have to hunt food, and they don't want these other cats coming in and stealing their precious mice or their precious fish, especially during like winter and stuff, when like a lot of these are much harder to catch. And it's a really interesting book because not only are you following this, they also have their own beliefs in a sort of way, right? Where they believe in like these cat gods or whatever the case, and it's a whole thing. I don't want to spill too much and ruin too much, but it is a good series. And finally, I'm actually going to be talking about so here. Okay, so we're going to be talking about this series, okay? And this series is, I would call it Vladimir Chronicles. I don't even know if like it has the freaking. Okay, Heather Brewer. Basically how this works is you're going to have them going in, and I don't even have my books in order. Oh yeah, here. So basically how it works is you have all these books, and they're basically going to be named after the grades, and the reason that this happens is because you're progressively going through years of this guy's life. So like 8th grade Bites, you have 9th grade Slays, you have 10th grade Bleeds, and so on. And you're basically going throughout this dude's high school life, but not only that, he is a vampire, right? And not only is he just a vampire, he's a half-breed, which is non-existent basically. He's basically half-breed between human and vampire, meaning, for example, he can walk in the sun and he won't burn up to death, you know. Um, and he has this whole prodigy kind of, I wouldn't say persona, but he has like this prodigy thing around him, and it's something that actually gets him hunted pretty heavily. And you're not only kind of following the struggles that he faces as this sort of prodigal vampire, right? That has to face all these struggles that come with being half human, half vamp. You're also kind of following along with his actual high school life in itself, you know, like the struggles that he has to face being a vampire. Like I remember there's one, I wouldn't call it a scene, but this one line within his story, whatever you would call that, where he had this person that he was in love with, Meredith, I think it was, and he actually had to basically break off what he wanted with her, right? Because he wanted to be with her. He loved her. He was, you know, into her for years. But every time he was around her, he had this feeling, right? He had this like urge to sink his fangs in her neck and stuff. And he was like, dude, I can't be with Meredith, you know. And if it makes you guys feel any better, basically he does actually I don't want to ruin it. Well, he does have someone else that he ends up being capable of being with, right? I feel like that kind of spoiled a lot. If I'm going to be honest, I feel kind of bad now. But it does end happy on that note. Overall, this was a much slower story, so if you don't like slow stories, I wouldn't recommend it. But I did find the change of pace really nice. I enjoyed the story overall, and yeah, I don't know. That is about it. I just wanted to cover these books real quick. I thought it was a little video I could do. Maybe you guys would enjoy that and stuff, okay? I do appreciate you guys though for watching as always. I know this isn't my typical video, so if you did watch to this point, you watched the end, I do appreciate you guys, okay? I really do. You guys are amazing, and yeah, you guys have a great day or night though. I will see you guys in the next one. That is about it. Peace out.